In today's video, we're doing an unboxing, an assembly, and a burn off on the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco. Hey, this is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue of Wisconsin, and welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, we try to help you enhance and amplify your backyard barbecue fun. In today's video, I'm doing an unboxing and an assembly and a burn off on the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco. And in full disclosure, Oklahoma Joe's sent me the Bronco so I can do a complete and honest review using it. So grab your screwdriver, your crescent wrench, and your socket set, Bart. We're gonna do an unboxing and an assembly and a burn off on the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco. All right, a child is born. Oklahoma Joe's sent me the Bronco drum smoker, and we're gonna put it together and fire it up. It's time to get a burn off with some charcoal for once. So what am I waiting for? Let's cut open the box to see what we got inside. Ooh, bubble wrap. All right, well, thank you very much, Oklahoma Joe's, for the triple grate and the new cover. Okay, let's get into the fun part. Get into the big box. It's Christmas in May. Got the instructions and the manual. Got the grate, porcelain coated yet. We got the bottom porcelain coated charcoal grate. Got our heat deflector, more styrofoam for recycling. And now at this point, you're gonna go ahead and cut the corners down on the box. Take a nice razor blade, score it up. Be careful, sharp objects. Got our top smokestack assembly. We've got our lower air intake channel. We got our shelf and our towel bar, and a box of hardware that will open up real quick. So in this box, you're gonna have some hardware. Handle, looks like a hinge for the top lid, trusty thermometer, lift out tool, we got our food hangers, and some hooks, and a couple other small pieces that we'll talk about later. Tight, I tell you. You got a frame for a patio table. Whoa. Or a toilet, portable. Charcoal basket, and that's where that bottom porcelain grate's gonna go in. 2 Oklahoma Joe's cast iron wagon wheels, your 2 stabilizing legs. We got our ash pan assembly, we got our ash pan support. Now I'll just peel this other styrofoam off. This is packed very tight. Got your lower barrel body, got your axle for your wheels, got a lovely sticker on the inside. That came off with ease. Good job. And it shows you that it's got 284 square inches of cooking space in it. They want you to leave this upside down, cut a little bit of the plastic off it, because now on this part, we're gonna leave it right here, and we're gonna put the bottom unit on, and that's how we're gonna attach it. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start assembling the barrel part itself. Obviously, leave this bottom part alone. They want you to assemble it upside down. So we're just gonna grab the lower unit, and you'll see right here there's a notch, and you're gonna line that right back up with your thermometer area. So right here's the notch, and that's just gonna line up right where you're gonna end up putting your thermometer. So we're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna need 6 little bolts and 6 washers. We're just gonna get these started, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now after you got them all started, just go ahead and take your screwdriver first and just get them in just snug, just get a little pressure on them. You're gonna wanna tighten them up in a star pattern. Now, one thing that I've seen a few times that people have talked about the Bronco is that it does leak a little bit at first, but after you use it a few times, it seals up. But I'm just gonna take my little socket set and put a little bit of twist on them. Just a little quarter turn. Okay, now we're gonna start assembling our legs. And it's pretty simple. They have these drilled so you can't screw it up. And again, like everything that you do, finger tight first. Just repeat with the other one. Okay, and we'll just snug them up with a socket. Okay, now we're gonna put on our front and our rear wheel mounting brackets. This is where your axle's gonna go through. And you're gonna wanna take this part right here and face it out. Don't put it this way. Make sure that they're facing outside of the barrel, or you're gonna be doing it over. And on these, we're just gonna leave them finger tight until we get the actual axle through there. So it's easier to adjust these, so when we put the rod through, you don't have to mess around with loosening anything up. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my air intake channel, and it's gonna be closer to one of the legs. Now this one we're gonna tighten right up. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my wheels. Put one wheel in your axle first. You have to wiggle a little bit, get it through. Hang the other one, throw on your washer and your cotter pin. And after you're done, you want to make sure you put your bottom intake cap on. So that's on there. And we'll finish snugging up their wheel assembly Now this should be like a 2-person lift, but seeing that I'm an old middle linebacker, I think I can handle it by myself. If you do this by yourself, you want to make sure that your hinge is on the bottom side, and that's the first part that's being brought up. But we're just going to start tipping it this way. Slowly and gently, we don't want to scratch it. And now we're picking up that running back and flipping them over. No first down for you. It's pretty simple, right? And on top of the lid, they got a quick little feature pamphlet on it. So now we're gonna go ahead and put in our thermometer. Now this is important that when you're tightening it up, that you use the actual nut on here and not the thermometer itself. So we're gonna start it out this way. Obviously you wanna be able to read it. Right there, it looks pretty good. And then you're gonna spin the nut to meet up. You're gonna need a crescent wrench, a big one, tighten this down. All right, it's pretty tight. All right, so now let's go ahead and put our handle on. Same concept, finger tight at first, tighten down. This one's gonna be a little trickier on the angle here, but. All right, so let's do our smokestack assembly now. Put it on a little bit of an angle, you can get it through. And that'll just kind of lean like that so we can get it started. Nuts are also on the bottom on this. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put our brackets on to make sure that you have this part up. My wife's gonna say, look at how wrinkly your pants are. Yeah. And then just go ahead and tighten them up. Now we'll go ahead and put on our upper air intake channel. And this you just need 2 nuts for. The bolts are already on it. And that's pretty simple. Just gotta line it up, work it down, and then get her back in, like so. And we'll tighten this one up too. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put our handle on, and this is gonna go on the left-hand side of your thermometer. Just a bolt and a washer underneath it. Now I have seen some guys make the mistake of putting it on the right-hand side because they think that's how you pick it up, but really you're gonna use this for leverage on this side. Just think of a hand cart. I'm gonna keep on putting all these things together. I'm gonna have to get electric drill. Guy starts to get mechanic knuckles after a while. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put on our side shelf. Same principle. All right, so now I have all the nuts and bolts part of the assembly done. Let's go ahead and put our ash pan support in. Then we can go ahead and put our ash pan in. But I'm gonna leave out my charcoal basket because we're gonna fire this thing up. But just so you know, this little grate goes inside here and have the rods up. Just like this. Get our cardboard out of here because we're gonna fire this up. Okay, so the Bronco is all assembled. Now it's time for the burn off. Let's get some charcoal lit so we can get this horsey running. So today for the burn off, we're gonna use some Kingsford Blue. You don't have to fill up the charcoal basket plumb full. Do it about 1/2 to 3/4. You only need to do this burn off for about 2, maybe 4 hours. Run it longer is always better. But we'll start out and just dump in some of our charcoal. That looks about right. And we're gonna put a pocket right in the center. Something like this. Then we're gonna take our rack and place it right on the top. Right there. And then I'm gonna take and light up a couple wax cubes, take my small chimney and place it right on top. Give it about 5 to 10 minutes, and once those coals are lit, we're gonna go ahead and put in our charcoal basket. Okay, our charcoal's burning nice and clean. Let's take off our charcoal chimney, set that down. Watch out for the rack. Might be a little warm, but this side isn't too bad. We'll go ahead and put in our charcoal basket. And then we're just gonna go ahead and take our charcoal chimney and dump it right in the center. Take our heat deflector and put that back in. And that's gonna hook right here, right on that level. Hooks in there just like that. Then we'll go ahead and put our grate back in. Close up the lid and open the vents wide open on both. So your intake is wide open and your exhaust is wide open. Now that's a nice little smoke coming off the top of there. That's what we want to see. And now I'm just gonna let it sit and burn for a little bit. But I am gonna go ahead and spray in some canola oil. We're just gonna open it up. And I like to spray on the lid a little bit, you know, inside the dome, and then just around the edges, just a little. And then we'll close up the lid and just let her keep on cooking. And it also doesn't hurt to go ahead and spray the outside a little bit. And this is always a great little exercise to do when you're sitting around just waiting for some ribs to get done. Now, if we're only running for about 10 minutes, our temperature is saying about 200 degrees, but we want to get this up around that 400 plus mark. That way we're actually starting to burn off all the impurities and all that excess machining oil from the manufacturing process. All right, so we're 2 hours into the burn off, and the Bronco's been running very steady at about 450 degrees. It hasn't really moved much once it started to heat up. It stayed right there, and that's with the vents wide open. But let's open up the lid and just check and see how it looks inside. Oh yeah, you can see some nice burning coals down there. Hopefully my camera will catch it. Starting to get that nice amber brown on the inside of that lid too. So she's starting to season up, but it's starting to get a little dark out, so let's close this back up. I'm gonna set a timer for about an hour and still let this run at that wide open. But then I'm gonna go ahead and close up the vents just a little bit, and I'm gonna let this completely burn out all the charcoal inside. Now I am very impressed with the way that the Bronco has been holding that heat right around 425 to 450 degrees. Now with temperatures like that, I can guarantee you I'm gonna grill on this thing. I just won't have the heat deflector in there. That way it'll keep even hotter at the top of that grate. And it's a solid little cooker, and it's crafted well. The bolts all fit. I didn't have anything that was messed up or didn't fit quite right. Everything was just a couple turns and it was tight. And also on the first cook, I'm gonna use my signals just to see if that temperature gauge is as close and accurate reading as what my signals will produce. But obviously this thing is really holding temp, and it's at wide open. I can't wait till I can start backing it off and see how long it cooks we could get. I'm thinking I could maybe push 10 hours if I dial it way back to about 250 degrees. Okay, so it's been over 3 hours now, and the Bronco's been running at maxed wide open since we started the burn off. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn down those vents a little bit and just let it have a slow burn. So we're gonna just take our intake and turn it right to 2. And we'll just turn our top dampener, we'll turn that all the way down to 1. We'll see if we can hold that temp for a while. Now the next video I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna do some chicken. Who knows? But I always say, cook chicken for the first time on your cooker because it's cheap and it's easy to do. And again, I wanna thank Oklahoma Joe's for sending me the Bronco. It's the summertime. That means charcoal season. It's charcoal during the summer. I mean, I love cooking on a pellet grill, but in the summertime, nothing beats good charcoal and a wood combination flavor. For sure. And plus during the summertime, I can wear some shorts and a t-shirt. It's still a little chilly right now. We're still in May, and that means grilling season has begun. Doesn't that kind of remind you of something that, like, when they went to the moon, they just like landed back in this thing? Hey, get in there. Squeeze over, buddy. Like I'm waiting for like Michael J. Fox to like pop out of it. Like he's like, hey, I'm back from 1887. Yeah, this is a futuristic spaceship. Pretty solid little cooker though. You know, I'm almost tempted just to throw some food on it right now. Everything's burnt off it. I mean, we went past the required time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become a subscriber. Turn on that notification bell because you don't want to miss my next video. And make sure you check in the description below for all the links that I use in all of my videos. Now you can give it a thumbs down if you're a vegan and you only eat vegetables that have been heated up in the microwave. Because charcoal makes you itchy. Then you can give it a thumbs down. But I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Jesus, is that on there tough? What the hell is this? God. And again, I want to thank Oklahoma Joe's for sending me the rider. Rider. You know, I tried doing this at night so it's a little quieter, and we still have Harleys and big loud trucks going by. And we're way down by the highway.